Takes a second to get that thing warmed up. Thank you, Piper Bill Cooper. Welcome everyone today for the inaugural meeting of the 2018 to 2022 Township of Georgian Bay Council. This is the first time I've ever done this, but I officially call this meeting to order. So in accordance with Section 230 of the Municipal Act, I call this meeting to order. It is my pleasure to introduce the members elected to serve on the new council of the Township of Georgian Bay. Everyone can be seated. We have the fancy people in the jackets standing. First up, we have District Wards 1 and 3, Councillor-elect Paul Wyanko. District Wards 2 and 4, Councillor-elect Peter Cooper. Ward 1, Councillor-elect Cynthia Douglas. Ward 2, Councillor-elect Stephen Jarvis. Ward 3, Councillor-elect Brian Bocek. Ward 4, Councillor-elect Alan Hazelton. And the Mayor-elect Peter Coutier. I would now ask that Michael Dubin, the District Municipality of Muskoka Chief Administrative Officer, come forward to administer the declaration of office as required under Section 232 of the Municipal Act to members of council-elect.
Thank you
That
very much.
is not our theme song.
It's a good theme song. I'll turn it on in a second.
Here, do you want me to take it?
You should have this as your theme song.
Good morning, everyone. So it gives me great pleasure to be here. So what I will be doing is doing the declaration of office for the newly elected councillors, and we're going to start with Councillor Bocek. And Councillor, if you can please come forward. Actually, we'll have you stand for now. You can, and so what I'm going to do and you can tell me what you prefer. I can read it, or you can read it yourself. Would you like me to read it? Okay. So I, Brian Bocek, having been elected or appointed to the office of Ward 3 Councillor in the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Do you swear this to be true?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. If I can have your eyes, and I think you're taking a photograph. I get to be in all your pictures. Good. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh. Same place as last year.
Yes. Councillor Peter Cooper.
You gonna read from me too?
It's up to you.
No, you're a good reader.
Am I good? So I, Peter Cooper, Peter Cooper, having been elected or appointed to the office of District Area Wards 2 and 4, Councillor in the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being, and I make the solemn promise and declaration consciously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Do you swear this to be true?
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat.
Can I stand
You
up?
can stand.
All right.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Smile.
What is wrong? Hide your seat.
Oh, another one?
No.
Oh, I
No,
have
your
over
seat.
here. Oh, yes, over here. There we go.
Eagerness but reluctance. Next is Councillor Cynthia Douglas.
You've done such a great job. Carry on.
You, Cynthia Douglas, having been elected or appointed to the office of Ward 1 Councillor to the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being, and I make this solemn promise and declaration consciously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Do you swear this to be true?
I do.
Thank you. Congratulations. Please sign right here. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And next is Councillor Alan Hazelton. Ready, sir? Do you want to read? No? Alan Hazelton, having been elected or appointed to the office of Ward 4 Councillor in the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration consciously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Do you swear this to be true? Thank you very much. Congratulations. Yeah. See? Thank you. Thanks. Congratulations. Councillor Stephen Jarvis.
I'll read it.
I'll do it. I was hoping somebody got the trend.
I, Stephen Jarvis, having been elected or appointed to the office of Ward 2 Councillor in the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office as in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose my pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you.
That's it?
Yeah, and do you swear this to be true?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel like I'm getting married.
Is your wife here? Doesn't take much, does it? He didn't mean married to me, he just meant.
Yeah, you're right.
next is Councillor Paul Wayanko.
You should have memorized that.
What do you want? I, Paul Yanko, having been elected or appointed to the office of District Area Wards 1 and 3, Councillor in the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration consciously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Do you swear this to be true?
I do.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor. Congratulations again. And last but not least, Mayor Peter Hootzier. Your choice.
I'll try to read.
Okay.
I, Peter Councillor, having been elected or appointed to the office of mayor in the municipality of the Township of Georgian Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration consciously believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you. And do you swear this to be true?
I do.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. Continue to remain standing, and I'll invite the CAO to come on up.
You took my line.
I'm gonna do a little housekeeping first.
Oh.
I'm already, dressing and undressing. It's my privilege and pleasure to present you with the Georgian Bay Chamber of Office. I wore my high heels today so that I could get there. Very spiffy. It's very nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with the provisions of the Municipal Act and with the mayor and councillors having taken the declaration of office, I'm very pleased to confirm that the new council of the Corporation of the Township of Georgian Bay is officially organized.
Okay, thank you to everyone for joining us this morning. It's greatly appreciated as we begin our next term of council. I want to thank Bill Cooper, our piper, and Michael Dubin, our officiant, as well as Jessica, Laurie, and Jennifer Schneier for making all the arrangements for this morning. I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of all council members when I thank our supporters and all those who took interest in the election, those who voted, and the staff who worked very hard to make this election happen. Democracy means elections, and elections are hard work. The support of everyone is greatly appreciated. I'd also like to thank those who ran against us for their dedication to our township. And thank you to the prior council and the councils before them, from whom we are receiving the torch of responsibility for the governance of our Township of Georgian Bay. Their service is well appreciated. The standard they have set is very high for all of us. Our council represents and works on behalf of all residents of the Township of Georgian Bay. That includes not only those who voted for us, but all members of the many communities who make up our township. We must consider those who live here, those who work here, and those who wish they could spend more time here. Our goal should be to find solutions that work well for everyone in our township. I would like to add that I think we should also govern on behalf of future generations. We should consider the long-term consequences of the decisions that we'll be making and the direction we'll be setting. Our outlook should be much longer than just the next 4 years. We have an opportunity to create a positive and inclusive council. We bring a broad range of knowledge, experience, and values and service to our communities. By carefully considering each other's perspective, becoming well-informed, being far-sighted and fair, and acting with respect and integrity, I am confident we can provide the leadership our residents seek and deserve. Our region has a long and rich history. These lands and waters are the traditional homeland of the Ojibwe and Huron-Wendat nations, and now include the communities from the Mohawk, Potawatomi, and Métis nations. We acknowledge their stewardship throughout the ages and their continued presence amongst us. We've been served by canoe routes and forest trails, lake steamers and railways, and now highways and roads. We have been, more importantly, well served by all those who work here and the many who volunteer in our township. Some of our families go back many, many generations in this area, while some are relative newcomers. What we all have in common is our love and appreciation of the lands and waters, the rocks, the trees and plants, the sky, and the wildlife all around us. Our environment has provided for us in so many ways for centuries. The natural world surrounding us is vitally important to everyone. What is best for the environment is what is best for all of us. We all have a responsibility, council, staff, residents, and visitors, to look out for both our human and non-human neighbors. We should strive to make sure that any application put forward, any report considered, any delegation received, any policy contemplated, and ultimately any decision made will prioritize what is best for the whole township, environment, and residents alike, balancing immediate needs with long-term sustainability. I am confident your council will work very hard as a team with respect and integrity, with care and perspective, listening to all voices to be the best council we can possibly be. Thank you to everyone for encouraging us to serve you and to help you move our township forward together. Thank you. And now to get on to the regular business and see how much guidance I will need from Jessica and how much we can do by just reading. It's a learning process. The first item of business that we have is greetings from Norm Miller.
Thank you, Your Worship. Norm Miller was invited this morning but was unable to make it, so he sent along this note. Thank you for your kind invitation to attend your council's inaugural meeting. However, I regret my schedule does not permit me to join you today. I would, however, like to take this opportunity to extend my congratulations and greetings. I am pleased to welcome many of you back. Your continuous years of commitment and dedicated service to the community are a credit to you all. I would like to send my congratulations to Mayor Couture on his election to his first term as mayor. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to the new and returning members of council: Paul Wyanko, Peter Cooper, Cynthia Douglas, Stephen Jarvis, Brian Bocek, and Alan Hazelton. I would like to express my appreciation for all the hard work, valuable assistance, and guidance you will provide our constituents in this upcoming term. Best of luck as you embark on this next chapter. I look forward to working with you all. Thank you again for your invitation, and again, congratulations.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is an introduction to senior staff by our Chief Administrative Officer, Lori Cunard.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's a new term for you. You'll have to get used to that's how staff address you. On behalf of senior staff, we want to congratulate Council on their new term, and we're very excited to work with you. Inauguration Day is a bit like the first day of school for staff, so lots of excitement and just the tiniest bit of apprehension. So Mayor Couture has set the tone for us all, and we're excited to support that. So I just wanted to do a really quick introduction to senior staff so you know them all. So most important is Jessica Gunby at the table. Everyone knows Jessica, there's no one that does. And we have Nick Popovich in the back somewhere. Nick is our Director of Development Services, which is, Nick is responsible for planning and building. Jane Corbiel is our Director of Financial Services, responsible for all the money and all the IT, so she keeps us running around here for sure. Our newest member of the team, Tammy Martin, who's our Director of Human Resources and Health and Safety. Brad Sokat, where's Brad? Brad is responsible for roads, parks, and recreation and facilities, so Brad's got a very broad portfolio. Jennifer Schneier, our Communication and Economic Development Officer, and our all-round creative person who's always responsible for making things look as well as it does around here and keeping us on track. And last but not least, Chief Tony Van Dam, who's our fire chief and responsible for fire and bylaw and making sure that we don't exceed how many people were in the room. That's why he's at the door, barring the door, don't let anybody else in. So on behalf of the senior team and all of the staff at the Township of Georgian Bay, we look forward to support you in the next 4 years. So good luck and congratulations.
Lori, thank you very much for that. And now we'd like to have a brief review of council procedures by Jessica Gunby, our clerk.
Very brief. You'll be getting further education at the next meeting, but just so you are aware, so this morning I had you all sign these motions to get them on the table. So at the beginning of the meeting, I need a mover and a seconder on all of these motions to get them on the table. It doesn't mean you're going to vote for or against it. I need them signed to get them on the table. As you can see so far, the mayor is the one who runs the meeting and keeps it going and announces when we're on our next item. When he does read the motion, you will be voting by show of hands. In order to be recognized to speak during the meeting, also raise your hand and the mayor will recognize you, and you have 2 chances to speak to a matter to a maximum of 5 minutes per time as per our procedural bylaw. These meetings are recorded, lovely camera at the back. So when you are speaking, please use your microphone so that it can be picked up on the recording and everyone tuning in at home, all 500 of them, can listen. And those are the meeting basics.
Jessica, thank you very much for that. And hello to the folks at home.
I've already made a mistake.
Okay.
We have to adopt the agenda.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're now going to go through a number of motions and bylaws. So the first one is, be it resolved that council adopts the agenda of the December 3rd, 2018 inaugural meeting as circulated. Moved by Peter, seconded by Paul. All those in favor?
No discussion?
If you care to discuss. Okay.
So then you marked carried.
Carried,
You sign
and I
it says
signed.
mayor.
Who did you say was in charge of this meeting?
We all know it's me. I'm just being
Yeah.
polite.
Okay. And that's hard for you, isn't it?
Very difficult.
Okay. Next, the motion, bylaw 2018-120. The motion reads, be it resolved that council adopts bylaw 2018-120, being a bylaw appointing an alternate head of council under the Emergency Management Act. Moved.
I was just going to ask if anyone needs an explanation as to what this is.
Yes, please.
Okay. So at the beginning of term of council, we do need to have an alternate for our emergency plan. The head of council already has a role, but we are naming Councillor Wayenko as an alternate in our emergency plan.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried, thank you. I guess I should have done that. Sorry,
You'll learn, it's okay.
I'll learn. Our next motion is for bylaw 2018-121. Being it resolved, the council adopts bylaw 2018-121, being a bylaw to appoint signing authority for the 2018-2022 council term.
I'll explain that anyways.
I know you will.
We need to pay things. So the mayor has to be in the signing bylaw as signing authority, as well as the CAO and the Director of Financial Services. And once again, Councillor Wayenko being the alternate in your absence.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried, thank you. No. Our final bylaw for this morning. Thank you. Our final bylaw for this morning is the confirming bylaw, which is what ends every meeting. Be it resolved that council adopts bylaw 2018-122, being a bylaw confirming the proceedings of the December 3rd, 2018 inaugural meeting of council. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. And our final motion?
My favorite one.
Your favorite one. Our final motion is, be it resolved the council does now adjourn at 10:31 a.m. until Monday, December 10th, 2018 at 9 o'clock or at the call of the chair. Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. Carried.
We'll be bringing out some refreshments in just a moment if you want to hang out and eat some cheese and crackers.
We'll sign autographs.